welcome to the special edition of A-State Sports Takes. What happens when the world of sports combined with favorite Christmas movies all of the time? You get the A-State Sports Take Christmas movie Bracketology special. Today we'll argue sports media style which Christmas movie is the greatest of all time. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Hayden Reynolds. I'm joined by Lauren and Jesus, and we'll start the Bracketology off with the Sweet 16. This segment will choose which movies will move on to the Elite 8 on the side of the bracket. And so first we have Christmas Vacation and Jingle All the Way. I'm going to go ahead and say Christmas Vacation. That's my favorite. I can quote that whole movie. What do you think, Christmas Vacation or Jingle All the Way? I've never even seen Jingle All the Way, so I don't. What do you think? Which one's better?
Honestly, I haven't seen either one of them.
Are you serious?
So, wait, which one did you say?
I said Christmas Vacation with the Griswolds Christmas Vacation. You never seen that one?
What is that one about? I've never seen either.
You've never seen either one?
Quick little summary. I mean, honestly, I'm going to just say Jingle All the Way because it sounds the most Christmassy.
Well, like the Christmas Vacation is more of like a comedy type deal where they go out to get a Christmas tree and then the whole family comes over and all the family has like misfit type things. But you guys think Jingle All the Way?
Is it animated?
No, it's live action.
Oh, okay. No.
I'll trust you.
Yeah,
we're
gonna go with yours for that one then.
Okay. So not Jingle All the Way?
No, I'm gonna just go with yours.
Okay, Christmas Vacation. We'll bring that one down. Okay, next is Scrooged and Die Hard. I'm going to be completely honest. I've never seen Die Hard, and Scrooged, it's been a long, long time.
I've only heard of it. Like, I've heard, references.
I mean, we know what the Scrooge is and stuff like that. And
what's the Scrooge? Is it like the opposite of Santa?
Yeah, he hates Christmas. He doesn't want anything to do with Christmas. He's crabby all the time.
So is that kind of like the Grinch, huh?
Kinda.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
Kinda.
Okay.
So I guess I'd say Die Hard because I'm not really a big fan of Scrooge. I think at the end, though, he kind of turns to where he likes Christmas, kind of like the Grinch does. But like I said, I haven't seen that one in a long time.
The only thing I know about Die Hard is the controversy. Like, is it a Christmas movie? Is it not? So I'll go with Die Hard just because.
I was going to go with Scrooge just because I know the storyline of the Grinch.
That's what
I mean, I've never seen either one of those movies either, so.
Yeah, I say not Die Hard. We're going to go with Scrooge.
Yeah,
Scrooge. Okay, yep, we'll put that one in there. What's next? Charlie Brown or Wonderful Life? Not Wonderful Life. I don't like
Charlie
that.
Brown.
Charlie Brown.
Charlie
That's
Brown.
a classic.
It's a classic.
Yeah.
It's a good
And I've
animated.
actually seen that one.
You've seen that one?
Yeah.
I've never heard of the other one, so.
Have you seen Charlie Brown at least?
Like,
with the little Charlie Brown tree?
Long time ago, probably.
And all the little singing and stuff. Yeah, I think that one's really good.
Yeah, people still kind of reference the little Charlie Brown tree. Like, if they get a tree that don't really have as many,
where
like.
it just has that little one red ornament that kind of just
sad
strips the
tree.
tree down.
Yeah.
You guys have both seen that one at least?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. That's a classic.
That's a classic, though.
Yeah, Charlie Brown for sure on that one. Let's see what's next. Christmas Story and Mickey's Christmas. Obviously, Christmas Story. I have seen that one so many times. We actually play it. It rolls for 48 hours, Christmas Eve and on Christmas. Our family has it playing the whole time.
Yeah, well, I watch it every
Non-stop,
year.
like over and over and over again.
Yeah, that's a classic, too. I watch that movie every year.
You never seen that one?
Never seen either.
Oh,
word.
man.
Yeah, that and the Griswold one, I could definitely quote a lot of stuff from there.
Yeah,
Because our
Christmas
family watches those religiously.
Is the Christmas Story, that a long movie? I feel like that movie is, like, long. Like, it's like, was it like 2 hours, 2+ hours?
I think so.
That movie is long,
Yeah,
but it's not even.
It also doesn't
good.
help that they replay it over and over and over on Christmas.
Yeah.
So we want to go with the Christmas Story.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
You know, Ralphie's eyes are like actually like that blue.
Really?
Yeah, I saw a video.
It kind of
him.
looks like it'd be almost colored contacts because
Yeah.
they're very, very blue.
Yeah, I saw a
didn't know
video of
that.
him recently, and his eyes are actually that blue.
I guess that's about it. That's all we got for today. That's all we got for this segment, and after the break, our next group of students will debate the Sweet 16 on the right side of the bracket.
ASU-TV, shows like Red Wolf Roundtable, ASU-TV News, Westside Football, and more. Gain real-life experience while doing what you love. Get involved with ASU-TV today.
I think one of the things I learned at Arkansas State was life is 10% of what happens to you, 90% of how you respond to it, and that's just something that I live by.
A-State is home, and they're going to treat you like you're a part of the family.
Welcome back to the A-State Sports Take Christmas Movie Bracketology Special. Today, we'll argue sports media style which of the Christmas movies is the greatest of all time. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Brady Michael, and I'm joined by Tristan Harlan and Chase Weeks. And we're back with the Bracketology in the Sweet 16. This segment, we will continue to choose which movies will move on to the Elite Eight on the right side of the bracket. And we're going to have the bracket put up for you there again. And starting off in the top right quadrant, we have arguably two of the greatest and most fan-favorite movies of all time going head-to-head in round one. Let's y'all decide. What we got, Elf or The Grinch with Jim Carrey?
So, I mean, me personally, I'm The Grinch all the way. I mean, I think, that's probably top 5 Jim Carrey performances of all time. I mean, that role is very well performed by him. I like Elf. I just, I don't know. I was never really a favorite of that movie. I'm Grinch all the way.
So I'm kind of the same boat. Like, I'm a Grinch all the way. Jim Carrey that's one of Jim Carrey's top 5 movies, and it's not 5 or 4. But when it comes to the matchup of those two movies, I am going to have a controversial take here, and I'm not a fan of Will Ferrell. I think Will Ferrell's character in the movie Elf is very annoying and gets old very fast.
Yes, and I know it's meant to be annoying, but it does get old very fast. I'm right there with you. And one of the takes I'll throw out there, too, is that Elf has become less of a Christmas movie because they put it on year-round now. If you see, on CMT, they put it on a lot. You'll check any of the other popular channels, TBS, sometimes you'll catch Elf on regularly. It's losing its Christmas flavor. Yeah,
and I think definitely now that it's become as big of a meme that it's become in the TikTok era, that's what we're going to call it, the TikTok era, since it's become such a prevalent meme, I think it's, like you said, lost all of its Christmas value, and now it's just become another, hey, here's a A-list actor doing another movie that because he had no money doing, so here's Elf.
I don't know, me personally, it just... I don't know. I feel like the whole movie just drags. It's got a few good parts, but it's just...
It does.
It's not... I guess it's kind of boring. It just drags. It's just so slow.
Right.
And, I mean, I like Will Ferrell, but it's just
Yeah, at the end of the day, both movies are very quotable, but I think The Grinch is definitely way more quotable, and it's got way more replay value personally.
It almost has that, SNL sketch turned into a movie feel to it.
That's a good way to look at it.
And that's where I think where Will Ferrell got to start was on SNL.
Yeah, he's the more cowboy guy.
So no surprise there, ladies and gentlemen.
So I think Grinch clean sweep.
Yeah. Oh, easily.
Let's go ahead and see that shift on down. Next matchup, we have the 7 and the 10 seed, the Polar Express against Home Alone. Go back over to you, Chase.
Oh, I'm Polar Express all the way. I've seen that movie probably 50 times. I mean, it was a family tradition, literally, Thanksgiving night, because, we always put the tree up Thanksgiving night, but we would watch Polar Express. I've seen that movie a whole bunch. And I know some people are like, oh, but it, it's in the uncanny valley and the people look weird in it. It's I play a lot of video games, so they don't look weird to me, but also I feel like all those complaints are from 2004 where
the CGI
it just
wasn't pretty bad.
It looks good. It still holds up to me. It looks fine. I feel like all those complaints are from 2004 where, there wasn't really anything like it. I mean, now it's just common to see movies like that. I mean, I don't know y'all's takes on it.
Well, I know there's one scene that I've seen that people throw around TikTok, and not to bring that back into this, but there's that one scene where all the elves are gathering around by the train, and you have just a floating hat. Because
I-
there's
yeah.
one that was just not developed in the final render, and people like to poke fun at that. But
So I think on the debacle of Polar Express, there's a lot of different like flavors in the movie. Like you have, your traditional
Elaborate.
Christmas movie where the kid wakes up, the parents arguing or whatever, he gets on the train, whatever. But then you have a whole nother like surprise element when you get to that puppet scene and you have that like scary element. And let's just say this, Tom Hanks is the GOAT of all
Half the
time.
he
movie.
plays like almost all the voices in the
Yeah,
movie.
Tom Hanks
the-
is him.
the nerd
Okay,
kid.
but when you look at the whole movie from start to finish, you don't have the same. I mean, you have the same storyline, of course, but you don't have the same sort of feel to the movie. You have the train ride, and you have the sliding on the ice, and it looks like it's doing its best version of Tokyo Drift, but in the North Pole. But I mean, when you're putting it up against a bland movie like Home Alone, like, okay,
Don't call it bland.
bro, it's bland. It is bland.
not
Oh
bland.
wow, some kid got left at his house because his parents went to the airport.
And they did
Okay.
it again
Kicks
and
the
again.
rears
And again,
Every-
yeah, like
Dude.
okay,
Yeah, well,
what
that's the
what is this?
problem.
What is this? Peter Griffin and the Griffins leaving Meg out of every single family thing?
Well,
Come
she
on
couldn't
now.
defend herself. In that
Come on now.
situation.
I mean, the movie's bland, the movie's boring, and I mean, I'm not discrediting the actors, but I mean, it just isn't my cup of tea.
I mean, I don't think it's bland. It's just like Polar Express versus Home Alone. It's Polar Express for me. Like, I like Home Alone. It's just, I don't know.
Okay.
I'll put it to you this way: if there's nothing else on, I'll watch Home Alone. Other than that, I'm not watching it.
So at least it does have some kind of replay value, which has been shoved down everybody's throats. I'll give it that.
Yeah.
You're not going to see the Polar Express on nearly as much. My vote would be for Home Alone because I personally am not a fan of Polar Express as I've gotten older. But it don't matter because I
How
like
come
Polar
as you've
Express.
gotten older?
I don't know. I really don't know. But go ahead and move the Polar Express on to the Elite Eight because there's no need to hear my opinions on that. 'Cause
Good.
we've got two more matchups to get into. We got the 3 seed Frosty, the OG Frosty the Snowman against the Santa Claus. Much to your dismay, Tristan, that it wasn't Fred Claus.
Yeah. Okay, look, Fred Claus is one of my favorite Christmas movies of all time. The fact that it's not even an honorable mention on the list, it kind of hurts my feelings, but I'll let Chase kind of start this one off.
I mean, honestly, I've never been a fan of either of these movies. Like, I'll watch them sometimes if they're on. I mean,
One's a lot
I'm
quicker
leaning,
than the other if you just want to get
yeah,
through it.
I'm leaning a little towards Frosty just because, I've seen it since I was a kid. I've never been super amazed by, Santa Claus. Like, I like Tim Allen and his movies, but I just feel like, the whole franchise with it, it just like feels like a cash cow to me. Like just,
It was milked. After the
Yes.
second one, it
Yeah.
felt like it could have died there. And the third, and then apparently the whole series on Disney, it's so unnecessary.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's 100% a cash cow at this point, and I feel like that has taken the value away from it.
like, yeah, I don't have an opinion in either direction on these two.
So when it comes to these two movies, like the inner child in me wants to take Frosty over Tim Allen, but there's just something about Tim Allen that I've always kind of been drawn to, whether it's him in Last Man Standing or in Home Improvement or any of his other movies. Like,
Buzz Lightyear.
yeah, exactly. No, he wasn't Buzz Lightyear. He was Woody. Was he Woody? No,
Tom Hanks was Woody.
Tom Hanks was.
Yes.
Okay, I need to start looking at my stuff then. Sorry.
Tom Hanks is in everything.
Yes, Tom Hanks is him. But I think I just like Tim Allen's acting more than a 1960s movie that my grandmother watched, and it kind of just trickled
And it's just
down
children
generations.
singing
Yeah,
and a really
like
stupid
if I wanted to
Yeah.
watch a singing snowman that bad, I'd just turn on the Disney Channel. Let's just.
I think there's only one Christmas cartoon movie that holds up, and it is Charlie Brown.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You
Frosty
can't.
Cat.
You can't hate on Charlie
Go to the
Brown.
back. And so I'm Team Santa Claus on this. I don't even have to look at Tim Allen for this. I'm a big supporter. I like the kids acting, the elf Bernard. I'm a big fan of like all the side characters in that movie, and I think it holds up.
Is that our first upset of the bracket?
Melt Frosty. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Melt Frosty.
Go get the
him outta
flamethrower.
here. Mop him. Something.
Oh, he melted.
He
Good.
melted.
The 14th seed beat the 3 seed. That's what we like to see, ladies and
And
gentlemen.
then the final matchup of the right side of the bracket, we have Rudolph against the The Christmas Carol, I don't know which one it is.
The Muppets.
The Muppets Christmas Carol? Okay. Ooh.
It's the same thing. I mean, it's a toss between either of them. I'm not a huge Muppet person, and I'll watch.
You're right, you're quite real.
I'll watch the Rudolph if it's on, but it's old and it is slow to me. Like it's a good watch, but
Yeah, I mean, the Muppets are good, don't get me wrong. But I think for sake of Christmas replay value, where everybody knows what's going on, I mean, you got to pick Rudolph. I mean, I know I kind of am being hypocritical with what I just said about Frosty, but I mean,
well, one's a cartoon and one is like the stop motion.
Yeah, but I mean, I think just the replay value from generation to generation of Rudolph kind of triumphs in this battle.
I am a sucker for the old stop motion Christmas movies.
Yeah.
And it's like Santa Claus Was Coming to Town, and that's another one that I really like. It's just, it holds so much in my heart. And then there's so many versions of A Christmas Carol out there. And I like the Disney one, the animated one, better than I do the Disney one, or the Muppet one. So that's kind of where I stand on it. And I would lead Rudolph as well. It's a staple, as it should be.
Yeah. I mean, I wholeheartedly agree. I think Rudolph takes the cake very, very easily.
And there you have it. Rudolph moved on to the Elite Eight. But that's all the time that we have for this segment. After the break, our next group of students will debate the Elite Eight on the left side of the bracket. You're watching the A-State Sports Take Christmas Movie Bracketology Special. And thank you to Tristan and Chase. I'm Brady Michael, and we'll catch you in the next segment.
ASU-TV, shows like Red Wolf Roundtable, ASU-TV News, Westside Football, and more. Gain real-life experience while doing what you love. Get involved with ASU-TV today.
I think one of the things I learned at Arkansas State was life is 10% of what happens to you, 90% of how you respond to it, and that's just something that I live by.
A-State is home, and they're going to treat you like you're a part of the family.
Welcome back to the A-State Sports Take Christmas Movie Bracketology Special. Today we will argue sports media style, which Christmas movie is the greatest of all time. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Jisoo Lee. I'm joined by Cooper and Tika for this segment. We are back with the bracketology in the Elite Eight. This segment will choose which movie will move on to the final four on the left side of the bracket. So we will talk about Christmas Vacation and Scrooge. So which one will you pick, guys?
I'll start off first. In my opinion, Christmas Vacation deserves to move on in this round. Scrooge, it's an old movie, honestly overrated. It's not that good. I mean, it's a Christmas play in my opinion, and they made it a movie. It's okay, it's decent. But with Christmas Vacation, if you haven't seen it, it's just a great overall movie. It has everything you want. It has the Christmas aspect of it, but you have the comedy, just countless and endless of one-liners from the movie. Cousin Eddie, probably the greatest part of the movie in general. The Christmas lights on the house. It's just overall a great movie, and I think Christmas Vacation should move on.
Yeah, I agree with Cooper. It's a 1989 classic movie. So it's all-time family movie time. And it's, a movie has to be like plot, settings, comedy conflict, and the conflict with Eddie. That's also one of the part you said. It's really great on that part. And Christmas is always not about perfect. When the settings start with Christmas, the father wants to get a Christmas, everything perfect, and he's trying to make, but the Christmas tree burned down. And the second Christmas tree, another funny moment where the squirrel moving here and there,
the squirrel.
right? The squirrel and making everything messed up, and even the turkey like messed up. That's what happened. We can find it so relatable, with families. Like it's kind of sovereign of that time of normal family who wants to enjoy their holiday, Christmas holiday. So it's really, really a good movie. And the Scrooge, it's kind of a fantasy of where you get three ghosts, like kind of things. And so if I compare on that the Christmas, this one, the movie, I will choose this one.
Okay, both of them choose the Christmas Vacation, but I think like Scrooge is also like good movie to Christmas because if family watch that movie, then they can get a lesson like the thing is the attention and love for the whole family. So I think both of them is good Christmas movie. Okay, then we can go to next. Okay, next is like Christmas, Charlie Brown Christmas, and A Christmas Story. So, which one is better?
In my opinion, these are two great Christmas movies for me, but I have to go with The Christmas Story. It's classic. From the leg lamp to just everything about the movie to them going, the dog, you'll shoot your eye out for a Gile. Must be Italian, right? But A Christmas Story, just such a great classic Christmas movie for me, and I have that moving on.
So for me also, it's a Christmas story, right? So the Ralphie, the main character, the boy who fantasize of getting, killing the bad guys. And
The Red Ryder BB gun.
Yeah, BB gun 200, rifle. Getting that, he fantasize, even he makes, try to get that gun, like putting magazine of that guns. That scene, I like him. And I find more relatable in like the it's like kind of nostalgia. The childhood stories, it's more connected. I feel in that way, like quarreling all the time, and even the one part of the scene, like his best friend get his tongue licked on, stuck on that
Stuck
pole
on
scene.
the pole.
That's also one kind of scene. That's how you when I see that childhood kind of scene there, and it's so relatable. And the story, the movie is like, it has a soft kind of scene, like you see like it's back of 40s scene. You feel like that kind of, it's a setting of 40s, and that's what I like about this Christmas Story. So I definitely go with the Christmas Story.
Yeah, and then you have little brother can't put my arms down, and he's running around, just all that. It's just like a nice little, I don't know, just like you're saying.
When, like in small time, we don't want to like do, like our parents, they force us to do the things which we don't like. Like his brother getting the teddy bear one, walking like
pink
that.
Bunny.
That's one of the most, funniest thing I see on that movie. So that's why I love this movie.
Okay, so we pick like Christmas Vacation and the Christmas Story. So that's all the time we have for this segment. After the break, our next group of students will debate the Elite 8 on the right side of the bracket. You're watching the A-State Sports Take Christmas movie Bracketology special.
ASU-TV, shows like Red Wolf Roundtable, ASU-TV News, Westside Football, and more. Gain real-life experience while doing what you love. Get involved with ASU TV today.
I think one of the things I learned at Arkansas State was life is 10% of what happens to you, 90% of how you respond to it, and that's just something that I live by.
A-State is home, and they're going to treat you like you're a part of the family.
Welcome back to the A-State Sports Take Christmas Movie Bracketology Special. Today we'll argue sports media style, which Christmas movie is the greatest of all time. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Dalton Adams, and I'm joined with Patrick and Landon. We're back with Bracketology and the Elite Eight. The segment will choose which movies will move on to the Final Four on the right side of the bracket. What we got left, let's see. This looks like Grinch beat out Elf, and so we got Grinch versus Polar Express, which beat out Home Alone. What do y'all think?
I think there is no chance in this world that Home Alone should have gotten booted against Polar Express, but that's old news. Thanks, Tristan. But personally, we'll start with that top matchup, and I'm just going to have to take the Grinch over Polar Express personally. I just feel the Grinch is too much of a classic to not get past this round, especially against, I know the Polar Express is a classic as well, but I just feel like the Grinch has more meaning, at least, not just meaning, but I've seen it more times, and it's more of a Christmas movie, in my opinion, than the Polar Express is, and so that's why I prefer that movie.
What about you, Patrick?
I personally still can't believe that Home Alone lost with Polar Express, because this is a fun fact. In Poland, there's like a big tradition. We've been watching Home Alone every single year since the release, so it's like a big tradition on the 24th. But in this case, I'm gonna go definitely with Polar Express. I've watched it many times, so Polar Express is winning for me at this time.
So it's up to me. You know, it's hard for me because Polar Express is like my childhood film, but The Grinch is right up there with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really close for me. And I know I'm going to make a lot of people upset, and probably Landon here too, but I think I'm going to have to choose Polar Express to go on. I'm sorry. But I truly, that has been my childhood movie for as long as I can remember. On our Christmas tree, I have a Polar Express ornament. Like, that movie was a big part of like my Christmas childhood, but I could see definitely The Grinch. It was a tough contender there.
I'm sorry, Ty. I tried.
Polar Express is a beautiful movie. It's a beautiful movie for kids. It's a beautiful vibe.
Yeah.
Beautiful story.
Yeah. Next up is I think it's Tim Allen, Santa Claus, and then Rudolph. This one, I don't know. How you guys feeling about this one? It's a toss-up for me.
Patrick?
These are just a little bit different movies, I would say. I think I would go with Rudolph, because I remember the movie when I was a kid. It was like one of the first movies I watched. So I think I'm going to go with Rudolph.
Yeah, I don't have too much insight, at least on these two films. When it comes to Christmas time, I usually stick to a handful of films, and neither of these are really the two that I would go to, and I don't watch any Christmas movies outside of Christmas time. And so, personally, I'm going to have to agree with Patrick and go with Rudolph, as I just see it as more of a classic.
You know, and I think this is going to be all three of us agreeing on this one, because, like, I understand, like, I can't really remember a lot of Tim Allen's Santa Claus. Like, I like Tim Allen's Santa Claus, but I think Rudolph is definitely more of that timeless classic when it comes to Christmas movies, and I think you just have to move that on over Santa Claus here. And, that's all the time we have for this segment. After the break, our next group of students will debate the Final Four on the left side of the bracket. You're watching A-State Sports Take Christmas Movie Bracketology Special.
ASU-TV, shows like Red Wolf Roundtable, ASU-TV News, Westside Football, and more. Gain real-life experience while doing what you love. Get involved with ASU-TV today.
I think one of the things I learned at Arkansas State was life is 10% of what happens to you, 90% of how you respond to it, and that's just something that I live by.
A-State is home, and they're going to treat you like you're a part of the family.
Welcome back to the A-State Sports Take Christmas Movie Bracketology Special. Today we'll argue sports media style, which Christmas movie is the greatest of all time. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Tristan Harlan, and I'm joined by Hannah Hatfield and Lake Maddox for this segment. We're back with the Bracketology in the Final Four. This segment will choose which movie will move on to the championship on the left side of the bracket. So guys, let's go ahead and dive right into it. We have the bracket on the screen for your viewing pleasure. And on the left, we have The Christmas Vacation taking on a comment I'll save for later, The Christmas Story. So what you guys
Hannah,
think?
you give your thoughts on this first. I'm interested what you guys have here.
So first of all, I remember that kid with the glasses when I was a kid, but I don't remember the story, so obviously it wasn't that good, or I would remember it. So I'm going to have to go with A Christmas Vacation. Is that what that's called?
Yeah, Christmas Vacation.
Yeah, where they go and get the tree or whatever. Yeah, that one. I'm gonna go with that one. That one's a classic. So,
Man, I'm kind of at a crossroads here. Okay, they're both great classics. Okay, you have National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. It's a classic. I mean, it's funny. You gather up with your family, but then you have Christmas Story. They just did a little remastered version of that, too. I don't know if y'all watched that.
No.
The dude looks the exact same.
The first one wasn't good enough.
No. Oh, okay. All right. Now, it's a classic. I love Christmas Vacation. It's an absolute great movie. But, I really just love Christmas Story a lot. The Red Ryder, fighting off the bandits, all that stuff. But it's just not good enough, so I'm going Christmas Vacation.
Okay, yeah.
Uh-oh. Sounds to me like we have ourselves a drawy draws, some may say. So both you guys are at a crossroads between which one you're picking. You're both picking opposite ones here. And, both these movies are very good movies. I mean, you can't go wrong with whichever one you pick. But, when it comes to it, there's two little people on my shoulder here. One's telling me to go one way, the other one's telling me to go the other. And one of them may be a bald-headed, glasses-wearing teacher named Mr. Sullivan telling me to pick A Christmas Story. But this is the fun of bracketology. You never know which one's going to move on. As we said earlier, I made the Santa Claus and Polar Express move on when it probably shouldn't have moved on. But Ty Phillips is quite mad about that one. Now, both movies have a great synopsis. Both of them have great actors, great supporting cast, great storyline. But, and I do mean a but, there's only one movie that can move on. And for that reason, and it's not going to be A Christmas Story, get that thing out the championship, because I'm going with National Lampoon's one and only. My favorite quote from Christmas movie of all time, but that I can't say because I don't want to get in trouble. But you already know which one I'm going with. So guys, what do you think about this movie moving on to the championship?
I think it's the right choice.
It's gonna win.
I think it's the right choice. They made that remastered of The Christmas Story, and it just kind of put a bad taste in my mouth. It was a one and done deal. You don't try and recreate a classic. So that's kind of where I'm settling here. I'm settling with Christmas Vacation. It's just so good.
Yep.
Heartbreak City, call me the Heartbreak Kid, because Christmas Vacation has moved on to the championship. Now, like I said, it's not a bad movie versus The Christmas Story, but it's my favorite movie out of the ones that we had to choose from. But that's all the time we have for this segment. After the break, our next group of students will debate the Final Four on the right side of the bracket. You're watching the A-State Sports Take Christmas Movie Bracketology Special here on ASU-TV.
ASU-TV, shows like Red Wolf Roundtable, ASU-TV News, Westside Football, and more. Gain real-life experience while doing what you love. Get involved with ASU-TV today.
I think one of the things I learned at Arkansas State was life is 10% of what happens to you, 90% of how you respond to it, and that's just something that I live by.
A-State is home, and they're going to treat you like you're a part of the family.
Welcome back to the A-State Sports Take Christmas Movie Bracketology Special. Today we'll argue sports media style, which Christmas movie is the greatest of all time. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Jacob Wasinski, and I'm joined by my guests Joe and Eddie. We're back with the Bracketology in the Final Four. This segment will choose which movie will move on to the championship on the right side of the bracket. And now we can look and see what we got going on. Right now we got some major controversy in the bracket so far, at least here in the studio. But right now it's led up to this Final Four matchup between Rudolph and Polar Express. And I'll pass it on to you guys. Whoever wants to speak first, which one of these will you actually choose to go on to the championship round?
Would you like to go first, or?
I'd like to go last.
All right, okay. Let me set the scene for you real quick.
Okay, set the scene.
It's Christmas night.
Okay.
Presents have been opened, the dinner's been eaten. The family gathers around in the living room, on the couch, around the fireplace to watch a Christmas movie. Put it in a DVD or put it up on your streaming service or whatever, and it's Polar Express? Ooh. What?
Wow.
Polar Express is like... It's like the Branson, Missouri of Christmas movies.
Okay, that's niche.
It's not terrible. Like, it's kind of fun, but you got options, you know?
Yeah.
Like...
Is there something about it that you don't like? Yeah.
It's just bland, man.
Okay, yeah. So it's just like the whole movie overall, at least in your opinion, just like a kind of a bland mess.
Yeah, like the only great part, in my opinion, is like the nerdy kid. Because I used to make memes of him and like send them to like politicians I didn't like.
Okay. That's its only redeeming factor for you.
Yeah,
is that, okay.
that's pretty much it.
Okay. Eddie, what about you? What do you think?
Y'all are gonna love my take.
All right, let's hear it.
I am voting, or my vote is for Polar Express to move forward. Polar Express to me is more just iconic. Of course, we sing with Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. But like, when you talk about turning a movie, who wants to sit and watch and listen to Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer? Like, that's just me. The Polar Express, you have, like, we're in elementary school, and we have a Christmas movie day, and you know what they used to turn on. They did not turn on Rudolph. They turned on Polar Express, and we had the hot cocoa with some marshmallows. That's what they turned on. I think it's just more, I think Polar Express is just more iconic. The ticket and everything, just like the journey from going there. And then like, I don't know if you know this part, but it was like a guy, and one of my favorite parts is he was like, I didn't do it. Like, yeah, like that's just, it just resonates with me more.
And then and then the elves were like, leave them alone, it's Christmas. And the elves clearly weren't doing their jobs. Like, come on, man.
I think it's just, this is me. I just don't resonate with Rudolph the same.
Okay.
So it comes down to a draw, which at that point comes down to my vote. I will say this, when talking about Polar Express, there is that uncanny valley that we talked about earlier in the segment as well, about the graphics, and for some people that's really distracting, right? And I know the major thing with that is who wants to watch a PS2 movie, right? But I think I will agree with Eddie that Polar Express is a much better movie and a much more iconic. I think Polar Express is probably one of the best Christmas movies outside of Die Hard, which got eliminated in the first round, by the way. That's a whole other thing that we can get into. But I think if you're looking at pound for pound, the best Christmas movie, Rudolph is barely even a movie. I mean, how can you even say it's essentially a special that's like 20 minutes long at most, right?
That's fair. That's fair.
I think if you look at the Polar Express, it's an actual movie. Tom Hanks does a beautiful job in the movie.
He does. I will
Great
agree
job.
with that.
I think you have the whole cast of characters on that list, as you see, with going to the championship round between, I believe that's Christmas Vacation and Polar Express. But I think Polar Express deserves to be there 100%. But that's all the time that we have for this segment. After break, our next group of students will debate the championship matchup to decide the greatest Christmas movie of all time. You're watching the A-State Sports Take Christmas Movie Bracketology Special. Thank you for watching.
ASU-TV, shows like Red Wolf Roundtable, ASU-TV News, Westside Football, and more. Gain real-life experience while doing what you love. Get involved with ASU-TV today.
I think one of the things I learned at Arkansas State was life is 10% of what happens to you, 90% of how you respond to it, and that's just something that I live by.
A-State is home, and they're going to treat you like you're a part of the family.
Welcome back to the A-State Sports Take Christmas Movie Bracketology Special. Today we'll argue sports media style, which Christmas movie is the greatest of all time. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Cooper Melder. I'm joined with my guests for this segment, Ty Phillips and Brady Michael. We're back with the bracketology in the championship round. This segment will choose which movie is considered the greatest of the Christmas season. All right. We're going to refresh your brain here. We have a really great movie and a overrated movie. We have Christmas Vacation and The Polar Express. Do or take with what I just said, but, as a host, I will be a kind host. And you know what, Ty?
I'll start us off. It might change pretty early.
So I just want to say this to start off. I'm a man of, class. I'm a man. I would want to kind of pride myself on, taking the high road. I've been, I was set aside and said, hey, I'll give you this if you vote this movie. That's not how I work. I know what greatness is, and I know what a poor excuse is. I need to take Polar Express to get that out of my face. We're going to go with a good classic movie. I can't turn my back on it. We all know where I'm going. I got to take Polar Express out of this one. It does not win.
Well, at the end of the day, you actually had the good heart in you to do that.
And
I'm very impressed. And what happens in the Polar Express? You have the one ghost guy. He takes some nice black coffee.
Yeah.
He takes a little sip. That don't matter. Because at the end of the day, what's going to be the blessing that we're going to give to ASU-TV as that Christmas Vacation, I think might wind up with a sweep here in this bracketology special because that's a bit of a surprise. I thought that before the show even got live here that you were adamant about, it might go this way, it might go that way. But you made the correct decision.
I don't take bribes, Chase Weeks.
You're a good man. And Christmas Vacation blows this out of the water. If you saw me debating Polar Express versus Home Alone in the first round, you know where I stand on the Polar Express not being up there for me. And the Christmas Vacation, I actually watched it over the weekend, and it's still really fresh on the brain, and it reminded me how much more of a classic it is.
I'm just going to say
the Polar
this.
Express.
The bracket is full with Christmas Vacation.
It is a Christmas Vacation. Christmas Vacation wins it. And, the Polar Express, since I'm the host and I have free will of what I want to say and I can get it now, look at that beautiful championship. The championship, in my opinion, was Christmas Vacation versus A Christmas Story.
Sure.
But the Polar Express, you think about the days when you're elementary school, you have the Christmas party, you get to get a picture with Santa that day,
You got Santa?
It's everything it's everything you're doing leading up to watching that movie. You're not doing work, so it's a nostalgic movie.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's not that good of a movie.
It's mediocre. The animation style is way out of date. You see a floating elf head if you look closely enough. Everything is now for its time. Great movie. I don't want to give like Tom Hanks like the broad end of the deal. I mean, he did good. He came in and performed well. Just not better.
Yeah.
He's not the best. He's good. I'm waiting for him to be great.
Yeah.
And the fact Home Alone didn't make it, it's
Mr.
Sullivan, you know what?
Here.
And here we see what Mr. Sullivan wished would have happened.
Mr. Sullivan, I can agree with that because if we're talking about my favorite Christmas movies of all time, it's Christmas Vacation and A Christmas Story.
Elf would not have gotten booted as
Elf
early.
shouldn't have gotten booted. Home Alone should have gone out there.
Even
and
Santa Claus should have.
Santa Claus wasn't even.
I think it should have went another round. However, I don't think it would have made it past the Elite Eight.
And I just.
At the end of the day, though, that's what bracketology is all about. It's not going to be chalk. No. Everyone has those odd opinions, and that's how
Especially
Polar
the
Express got here.
Grinch. The
That's how Polar
Grinch
Express
is-
got here.
There's so many better movies than The Grinch.
But at the end of the day, you have to stand on business and know this isn't. I'm not going to take this. I'm going to go with greatness and not bribes.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I feel like the Christmas Vacation, no matter who it would have gone up against, would have won.
Yeah.
I mean, I really thought it was going to be A Christmas Vacation versus Elf or Home Alone. But you know what? Christmas Vacation came out on top.
I'm
like
actually
it should've.
surprised Die Hard went out so early.
Well,
I'm
picking
not.
Die Hard
I'm
over
not. But it's
picking
just the fact
Scrooge
that it
over
had to.
Die Hard's kind of wild in my opinion.
Because Scrooged is awful.
Hey, it's
Scrooge is
upset,
a
man.
terrible Christmas movie, along with the Muppets.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Cooper's triggering people.
I am.
All right.
I'm going to let all my thoughts out. But you know what? That's all the time we have for this segment.
Cheers.
Thanks to all the students in Mr. Sullivan's sportscasting class for participating. Have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and a Happy New Year. This has been the 2023 A-State Sports Take Christmas Movie Bracketology special. Thank you for watching. Peace out, Girl Scout.